Thank you, Jim, for taking over for Brad today for filming the YouTube stuff. We have all of our talks that Brad usually films, and people jump in and help, like Jim, and Peter does all the putting it up online. And so if you ever want to take a look at it, it's all there for you to experience. I'm kind of getting to the end of the Proof of Heaven book. I've got the proof I need. How about you? I've kind of taken a lot of the meat and shared it with you, but I do have a few more things to say, thank God. We've been talking about this book called Proof of Heaven by Eben Alexander, and we left last week in Actor's studio that we all live in, and he had this incredible expanded experience of cosmic consciousness, not unlike the people in the Bible. He comes back down on earth. He's a prophet now. I mean, he's speaking of direct-hand experience, power and authority of what he experienced while in the kingdom of heaven consciousness, the truth of who we are. And what happens is this huge cosmic energy, this love that we come from, gets filtered down through a soul, and the soul is open to the inner realms of the awakening consciousness that he felt and knew, but it's also aware of what we're doing here on earth, and it's kind of a massive reduction of consciousness to have a physical incarnation. It is, really. When you think about this huge essence being squeezed into this little tight, teeny personality and body, it's quite a miracle that we just don't explode, because there's so much of us that wants to get out in this world, and so much gets hidden while we're here. And so he has this experience of walking through the doorway, and after 6 days of being in a coma, with his brain literally just pretty much shot, he comes back on board and opens up his eyes. He's back. I'm back. I'm back. And what comes back is what's called an ICU unit medical model. He has ICU psychosis. What that is that the brain starts to wake up and it doesn't fire properly. So it has all these different kinds of memories coalescing with different kinds of memories, putting things together that don't necessarily belong together, and he's not making a whole lot of sense for a few days. That make any sense to anybody here? Mm-hmm. There are a couple of days where I'm in ICU psychosis, and I make no sense at all either, when my brain is misfiring that way. And he said while that was happening to him, while he was coming back on board and having these sort of psychotic moments, he said there was a part of him, because of the experience he had, that knew that he was coming back online again, that all of these things would come back together again. He was witnessing his own psychosis. That's a little hint for us today, right? To witness your psychotic moments, because we're all living in the ICU unit of our own psychosis. You know that, don't you? But you know that. But our teachings allow us to transfer our psychotic episodes into moments of awakening, to ICU, which is our intensive care unit, where we have intensive moments of remembering who we are, even in the midst of our own psychotic episodes. These teachings allow us to become as familiar with our divinity as we have of our pathology. We are all pathologically psychotic here when we don't know who we are. And so now we're learning how to put as much attention into the things that don't work, that we aren't, to the truth of what we are. And it takes time to integrate that, right, into your body. That's what we're here to do. Integrate all this cosmic energy into the body that we're in. That's what we're here to do it, to bring heaven on earth. And we have wonderful teachings and instructions to help us do that. So right here are some instructions. It says doorway instructions. And the ones I'm going to use today for while you're here experiencing separation in the world is clues to oneness. And they're actually called 6 slogans that come from the Buddhist tradition. And they're thousands of years old. And we can use them today. Would you like to know what they are? Yeah. Say, yes, I would, Pastor. Please tell me. I'm so excited about this. Okay, turn, first one. First slogan that you can use in primary moments when you feel separate, afraid, and psychotic. Turn all mishaps into the path. 2, drive all blames into 1. 3, be grateful to everyone. 4, see confusion as the divine Christ nature in all of its disguises. 5, this is a big part, do good, avoid evil, appreciate your lunacy, and pray for help. 6, whatever you meet is the path. I'm not going to be able, of course, to get to all of these today. So I'm going to deal with turn all mishaps into the path and drive all blames into one. Turn all mishaps into the path, regardless of what's happening. Turn it into the path of awakening. We've been given an assignment with our Prosperity Plus program from Mary Morrissey, those of us who are taking it, and we were called upon to do something this week, to notice what we're noticing. Just to be aware of what we're noticing when we're noticing it. To bring awareness to whatever it is that we're experiencing. And if we're in a contractive state of feeling, what kind of thoughts do we have when we're in that contractive state? You put them together. What am I thinking now and feeling now that's contracting me? Just bring awareness to it, and then bring awareness to when you feel expanded and open. What kind of thoughts am I thinking, CJ, when I feel expanded and open? You'll find there's a great connection between what you're feeling and what you're thinking at the same time. So whatever's going on, if you can notice it first inside of your body, and make that more important than what's happening in the world of conditions, great miracles in that moment can happen. That's literally the moment where you are creating new neural pathways in your brain. We all know how to be pathological and psychotic and reactive and contractive. We don't have to put a little sticky on the wall to remind us of that. We know that that happens automatically. Now in these teachings and practices, when we feel that contractive state, we begin to say, well, what am I feeling now? And shift consciousness away from the condition to the feeling tone in the body. In that moment, miracles of expansion can happen. Great things can happen when we do that, when we don't react and contract from our old programming. It's a great gift. Those moments are so important, maybe even more important than sitting in deep meditation for an hour existence, consciousness, and bliss. Those moments, when they do it to you again, and you start to whine and complain and blame, you become aware, what's this feeling in me? Not about him or her or what they are or not doing. It's what's going on inside of me that's more important than what happens in the world of conditions. Then you're able to turn all mishaps into the path. Everything is grist for the mill for my awakening to who I am, no matter what form it might take in the world. And we all have our own list of that. Y'all know, I'm beginning to say y'all without even hesitating now, which is very frightening. It's very frightening, especially my friends from the West Coast. Did you say y'all 3 times? I said, I'm sorry, but it's happening. Y'all, y'all. You know I love my iPhone. You all know that. I do. I love my iPhone. And we just recently put our iTunes on our iPhone for all of our music. We selected which music we wanted, and then we took the music and well, they're my favorites too. And then she put it up into the iCloud. Ooh. And then the iCloud takes it and puts it down into our 2 phones. Like magic. Now I've got music on. I noticed after she did that, however, something was not right the next day with my phone. My phone, I used to have big font because I can't see anything. She doesn't use that. My font got little. I noticed that my favorite people who I love to call, they're not listed anymore on my phone. Something is happening to my phone. My iPhone is not my phone anymore. Something's shifting here. So we get to Greenville, and we're at an Apple store. We decide, well, minister's conference, we'll go ahead, we'll take a look at what's going on. So we walk in the front door, and there's somebody with purple hair, an earring, a nose ring, and 24 years old, who says, yeah, here's your phone, like that, just like that. But the next morning when I wake up, it's not finished. The next morning, more of my personal history has been erased. I am losing myself in Maureen's phone. I don't have an iPhone, I have a her phone. I want my phone back. Come on, I like being one with her, but you like to get married to somebody, you start to become them, right? I want a little personal space here in this relationship, right? This is my phone. And the biggest insult was when Siri started calling me Maureen. You're not my Maureen, I'm concerned. I want to come back. So we go back to the store on Wednesday. We headed back to the class on Wednesday night. And we walk in, and the woman with the purple hair, the earring, and the nose ring is there. And I said, I don't know what you guys did to the phone, but it's getting worse. And she said, well, I can give you an appointment at 10:30. I said, I can't stay till 10:30. I got a 5-hour drive back into Wilmington. And all of a sudden, I'm noticing I'm no longer connected to the iCloud of unconditional love and oneness. This person is not giving me what I want in that moment. I'm not getting from her what I really need. And I can tell it's not going to get any better. So I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden I'm contracting and reacting. And it's like, well, we really need to get this fixed now. And it's so important, and you've got to do this right now. And I walk over and I walk away, because she says 10:20 is when you're getting your appointment. It doesn't matter what you like or don't like. And she's back into her life and care less. And Maureen is working on trying to fix it herself. And I'm leaning on, if you ever go to an Apple store, they've got a bar in the back where they serve you when you get your phone fixed. And I'm leaning up against the bar. And I'm going, what happened to turn all mishaps into the path? Ooh, we're not doing that right now, are we? We're in contractive reactive consciousness. And when you just shift out of the condition to the work that you could do inwardly on yourself, well, this is a mishap, and I can turn this into the path. What do you practice? You practice in that moment the greatest teaching ever available to mankind: patience. We talked about that, right? Patience. How can I be patient? I'm good at being impatient. Right away, I'm in the ward of psychosis again. I'm a patient in my own psychotic episode. No problem there. How can I be patient instead? And I just noticed that as a possibility. And then all of a sudden, the person with the purple hair, the nose ring, and the earring comes up and goes, I think I can squeeze you in between the last appointment and the next one, but you have to stay right there and don't move. This is the Buddha talking to me right here. I'll just stay here and not move. I'll be cool. And now I'm seeing everything, and I'm thinking to myself, 2.5 months ago, I didn't care about this stupid phone. And now it's the most important thing to my life. And Maureen comes over to me smiling and goes, let's just get out of here. We'll figure this out at home. And so I did with many of you do this spiritual work. I go back to make correction if I think I need to with someone. And I walk over to the one with the blue hair, the earring, and the nose ring, and I bow to her and I say, we surrender our place in line. You don't need to squeeze us in. Thank you. And of course she looks at me like, oh, another rainbow child hippie from the... Fine. Whatever. We walk out and we're free. We get back to the place where we started from, and we're hanging out, and we're thinking about our time in Greenville, and we're thinking about what happened while we were there. And all of a sudden, this is the funniest part, my phone rings, and it isn't my ring anymore, it's Maureen's ring. I have no phone left at all. And we are laughing hysterically. It's like, just take it, it's your phone. But then I think, oh, wait a minute. I'm losing all sense of personal identity. All of the work is about losing all sense of personal identity. There's no longer an iPhone or her phone, it's the we phone. We're connected to it. Yay, God, it's a great lesson. Oh, look, it's calling someone. Look at all these messages I have. I'll close it now. Wow, where'd that come from? I don't know whether it's for her or for me. I love it. A sense of boundlessness, where you keep your separate identity, but you merge with everyone. And when you merge with someone, ICU, you know the ICU ward, internal care unit? When you see someone, I see you. When you really see them, everything changes. When you see the I that is we, that is us, your whole consciousness has a shift, and you lift up to a whole new vibrational way of being. We're in the rainstorm on Thursday, and Havasu, you know Havasu, our dog? You know, she's had that little lump that she had 3 years ago when we came here. Well, it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger until it's just about hitting the floor. And I'm not exaggerating when I say it's this big. And we decided maybe it's time to see if we could have it removed. And so we go, and long story short, he says, I think I can get this out. There doesn't seem to be a lot of cancer anywhere else. I'll take care of that for you. So she goes in on Thursday for that surgery. And while they were there, they took out 2 rotten teeth. It's pouring all kinds of pus into her system in another little spot here. And I'm with her in the back seat of the car. Maureen's getting medicines at Costco. And you remember Thursday, it was pouring rain out? And I'm just sitting there, and I'm looking one more time as I pet her at my phone. And now, what's happened now? All my iCalendar stuff, everything is clearly gone. It is a blank phone. It only represents Maureen's account, not mine. And for some reason, I didn't care. You know that feeling? It just had no hook. I just went, I don't care. It's okay. What difference does it make? Next morning, Havasu wakes up. And the doctor, when he was operating on her, he was telling us, we're going to do this, and we're going to do here surgery there. She's going to say, you know, your dog is really going to feel a lot better after that lump is gone and the rotten teeth pouring poison into her system. I'm telling you, she's going to be happy. And I said, she couldn't be any happier. With the big lump and the teeth with the pus, that dog doesn't care about anything that her body is doing. I said she was as happy as she could be before the surgery. She'll be happy after the surgery. She doesn't let her life be externally driven by what's going on in her body. Do you hear that? She's in joy and bliss no matter what. Big 10-inch scar on her belly. Doesn't matter to her. She's happy, she's in joy, she's in consciousness, she's in bliss. When you throw the ball for Havasu, there's only the ball. And that's all she's doing, getting that ball. When she eats, this dog eats like it's the Last Supper. That's it. When she's at the beach, where she had her big lump, doesn't care if she's sitting there with her lump and all chasing waves. Everything is life to the max. We took her in the morning for her first walk. The doctor said you can take her for a walk depending on how she's doing, because it's been major surgery. And when we went back to the house, we walked through the garage. This is truly like a miracle. She comes, and this is after she did out a major surgery, just huge surgery. And she's sitting there in the doorway of where her ball is with the chuck-it thing, and with complete patience and absolute presence, she's waiting for me to throw the ball. And I'm thinking, I want to be more like this dog. I want to be able to have every part of my body removed and stick me on a table and show me something I love, and may I be able to love it regardless of what my body is or isn't doing. To me, that's what this work is about. Don't you think? Don't you think? So let's go to our lesson summation for a moment, and we'll take a look at what we talked about. I know you'll be able to practice this today. Remember now, internal care unit, right? I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. Woman with the blue hair, you know, with the nose ring. I see you. I understand who you are. I look at my dog and she's got a big slice in her, and I see her. I see her. She sees me. That's what she sees. So we talked today about turn all mishaps into the path. You know, let whatever shows up be a call to practice being patient with what is in the moment, and not run from it, but expand into it. Number 2, drive all blames into one. That one's really tricky, because when we say drive all blames into one, it doesn't mean make yourself feel bad for what's going on. It means that anything that happens to you, with anyone, whatever it is that happens to you, don't blame anybody but yourself. Now you say, well, that's easy enough. I'm constantly blaming myself. I feel guilty about everything. It doesn't mean that. When you drive all blames into one, it means you take personal responsibility for your state of consciousness in any one moment, and you don't pass the buck on to anybody else. This is not about the conditions. This is about my connection to my own higher self. I'm going to use this to do that. And it also means in that moment, no separation. The moment I start blaming and contracting, I make somebody wrong, and then all havoc can break loose on earth. The moment I make someone an object of my uneasy feelings is the moment I'm prone to attacking them for no apparent reason at all. Drive all blames into one. No one is responsible for my eternal internal state of consciousness but me. This situation, although it has external expression, is about me in this moment and my relationship with God. Yes? That's what this is about. Not about something going on outside, but what's going on inside. Havasu, come. Come here, sweetie. I want to bring you the master today. This is proof of heaven, right here. This, come on, sweetie. Come on, sweetie. This is proof of heaven, right here. Look at this. This is proof of heaven. Now she thinks I'm going to throw the ball with her. And look at her. This is proof of heaven. She has 2 teeth extracted from her body. She's got a big scar on her tummy, and look how happy she is. She could not be any happier. The hardest thing with this, because she now thinks they're going to throw the ball, because that's her routine in front of people, is keeping her from jumping 20 feet in the air and screaming songs of joy and hallelujah. I want to be more like my dog, don't you? This is all the proof of heaven that I need today. I see you, Mama Sue. I see you, and I love you, and I bless you, and please keep teaching me. She's shaking because she wants me to throw a ball. That's how important it is for her. So please take her ahead. Let's see if she'll go. Take that image with you when you stop moaning and complaining about some little thing going on in your life with your body and your mind and your thoughts and your feelings. Stop kidding around. What are you here for? Enjoy every moment. Please, friends, live it as if it's your last. Because, my friends, it's the last moment, and it's the first moment of your life. Don't let it pass you by. Namaste.
Namaste.